Good morning, Angela, owner Healthy Body Bakery. Hey, I just want to be transparent with you. And I've had some revelations and I want to pass it along. In your mid-50s, you're more bold, especially as I come out of my shell. And I just feel like I want to do my part at making the world a better place. So my transparency, I woke up at 4:30 this morning wondering. No, I didn't wake up this morning at 4:30 wondering. I've been wondering, and then I woke up at 4:30 this morning, why I have enjoyed my alone time this last 3 weeks. Like, to a fault. Been married 32 years and I was a little nervous, like, wow, why am I just so at peace? Why am I so energized? And I always try and stay in an attitude of gratitude, but I've been on the dear God, thank you. I thank Him in the morning and an hour later and all day. And when I crawl in bed at nighttime, I'm like, thank you so much. Kind of was scaring me of why I've enjoyed my alone time so much. So this is where you come in and why the video. Having a conversation with my pastor a couple weeks ago about the difference of introvert and extrovert. I was really only putting it all off on I'm enjoying my alone time, and part of this is true, by the way, because I'm an introvert. I know sometimes when someone's not afraid to just be out there and say whatever and risk the comments of people like, what is she doing? That's stupid. Why does she bother doing this? That you might think that we're not introverts, that we're extroverts. But in my mind, the definition of an introvert and an extrovert is, where do you recharge? Do you recharge when you're by yourself, or do you recharge in a crowd of people or around, connecting with good friends and stuff? I've always known there's something a little different about me. When I leave the house in the morning, I'm not being two-faced. I feel like the switch goes on to inspire or encourage the world, and it actually takes a lot of energy. And so sometimes in big places when I'm out and about and I'm just mingling and loving on people and encouraging them and trying really to listen and be in the moment, that I would go to the bathroom and get behind the door and just go, okay. And I would recharge before I could go back out. So that's a sign that I was an introvert, but I didn't put the pieces together. So on this trip, by myself, enjoying my alone time, I'm thinking it's just because I'm an introvert. And I needed this time by myself. And part of that is true. But let me tell you the rest of the story. I have realized, been doing a lot of self-analysis and self-help videos and a lot of reading, etc. Came across a couple of videos and it really connected the dots for me. And if you don't like her or you know something about her I don't know, I've not studied her, I've only watched a couple of videos. Eat the hay and leave the sticks. I maybe don't agree with everything she says, but 98% of it has just been spot on. And again, in my mid-50s, I am coming to you because I can. I feel like I am a grandma. Let's make the world a better place, and let's connect the dots together to live more meaningful lives. More lives of intimacy. And her name is Brené Brown, and she teaches on vulnerability and shame. And I really connected the dots. And let's face it, as people, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And the video is inspired this morning because of this. The difference between shame and guilt. I've had my share of both, but one leads to a better life and one leads to depression, addiction. And which one are you going to choose? Which one am I going to choose? Shame and guilt. The difference in guilt is I've made a mistake. or I've done something bad. And again, this comes from Brene Brown. I'm not trying to take credit for this, even though I 100% agree, and I've had these thoughts. She has just articulated it and done such a good job. Let's build upon her foundation. So guilt says, I made a mistake. I've done something bad. Shame says, I am a mistake. I am bad. And she talks about the difference and the pressure that we put on ourselves, women versus men. And I don't want to ignore you men, but I want to concentrate on women first, because our list of what we have to feel shameful about is exponentially way longer than the men's. Now the men's is huge, but with women, from a Proverbs 31 woman, if you're a Christian and you read the Bible, you've been told your whole life, Proverbs 31 woman, Proverbs 31 woman. Have you ever read Proverbs 31 woman and what kind of woman she was? She kicked some major butt. She was up before everybody in the family. She was the last one to bed. She was first up, last to bed. She owned her own businesses. She bought and sold her own land. She respected her husband. She did all the clothes and all the cleaning and all the cooking. She provided for her family. It's a long list. How about the song that Brene talks about? I can bring home the bacon, fried up with a pan, and never let you forget that you're a man. Women, we have been innately shamed to think that we have to do it all and we have to be perfect and do it tirelessly, just to keep on being everything for everybody, to be all things to every one of our family, and just be the glue. And it's good to want to be all those things, but it's bad to have to be all those things and not be able to be vulnerable with our husbands or with ourselves to say and admit when we're tired. So this is my transparent moment with you of why this 3 weeks has been what it has. I am so energized and happy and relaxed and peaceful because I've made the connection that the expectations that I have been putting on myself for 50, almost 56 years now, but for 32 years of marriage is of shame. You're bad. You're not doing this. You need to do this. And I'm never good enough. Not in my husband's eyes, in my eyes. I'm never good enough in my eyes. Therefore, if that's my mindset, sure, why am I not more relaxed when I'm by myself? I don't have the pressure to perform. So, and without forgetting you men really quick, because I think it is important, men get forgotten in all the self-help talks. Because women, we find it easier to be more vulnerable with each other, with ourselves. But men, you have to be strong all the time. You can't be weak. You need to be the knight in shining armor, riding in on this stallion to save your wife and your kids. And we put a lot of pressure on you. And again, this comes, I do agree that, but it comes from Brene Brown. And I just thought, wow, I have ignored speaking to men myself because I have another shame. Little transparency again with you here. I was raised in some dysfunction. We all were. But I have believed a lie that I annoy men. Another story for another time. But that's why I have ignored ministering to men. But the truth is, men, you have been set up and told a lie that you have to be strong to a fault all the time. So, little reality hour. I wanted to encourage you. So the bottom line, what do we got to do? And the biggest thing is we have to accept grace. So this is the deal. To live a life with your spouse of intimacy and fulfillment, we gotta quit the bull. Quit the bull crap. Be you. We have to be ourselves. We have to be real. Quit judging so we can truly start loving. And to start loving like the way God wants us to love, you've always heard that saying, you can't love others until you love yourself. It is true. But you can't love yourself until you extinguish the flames of shame. That sounds really corny. But it's true. You have to distinguish shame. And the only way we do that is by allowing grace to take its spot. But we can't do that because we have the expectations, and a lot of us are motivated by fear. And we think that that fear is truly a powerful motivation, and we're so connected to it. The fear of failure, the fear of being undesirable pushed me, yes, to get a trophy. But can I tell you, it hurt me. It hurt my health spiritually, emotionally, and physically. It wasn't good for me. So you got to be real. You got to lift the shame and receive grace so you can be motivated by the right motivators for the right reasons. We can do this.